My friends, welcome. At what level are you manifesting? Okay, I want to take you down the rabbit hole. And this is probably gonna piss off a lot of people because we're gonna destroy tons of industries in one single video and reveal to you the truth, okay? Let's start with the 3D material level. Healing dependencies, first heaven stuff. I'm sure you know somebody that made it their all in all to go into a diet like keto, vegan, carnivore, raw food, juice testing. Even AI here can't really read. It's like just illusion. Supplements and compounds. Oh man, people are looking for the next nootropics, the next multivitamin, and they think that this is the answer to their healing. Of course, all kinds of gym programs, cold plunges, infrared sauna therapy, cryotherapy, oh man, all this kind of stuff. Or people that trust in crystals, 3D stuff, amulets, saints, talismans, again, just this even decoding like and medical systems. Yeah, surgeries, all kinds of medicine, pills, physical therapy, thinking that that is where the healing comes in. And let me ask you, did Jesus ever use any 3D stuff? Okay, think about it. Wouldn't he just say the word and it will be done? Yeah, 100%. Now, let's talk about second heaven or 4D stuff because it's so interesting. People that are in 4D, they like laugh at people that are in the 3D and they're like, oh, these guys are still sleeping. But they don't know that they are sleeping too. Look at that. People are doing tarot, astrology, numerology, human design, gene keys, all kind of stuff. And they're like, yeah, no, this is the way. Psychological occult tools like hypnosis, NLP, therapies, all kinds of shadow work, all kinds of energy therapy. Wow. What about the psychological, subconscious mentaloids? NLP, hypnosis, different forms of inner child healing, trauma healing. Oof, 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 oof. And of course, here, he couldn't even write it, but ayahuasca, shrooms, plant medicine of all kinds, bufo, like peyote, all kind of DMT. They're like, this is the way to heal. People that are up here in the astral and consciousness practice and energy system and occult stuff, they think these guys are sleeping. They're like, oh yeah. And it's so funny when they try to disrupt the lower level, but they're still like astral, they're still like second heaven stuff. It's hilarious. I see people that are up here like, oh, poor those guys that are doing like tarot cards and astrology. Ha ha ha. That doesn't work. Like I do like soul retrieval or Akashic records or, all kinds of stuff, my friends. Energy systems, people that love Kundalini, obsessed about the chakras, obsessed about Reiki, obsessed about meridians and cutting cords of energy. But in reality, my friends, the true 5D, the true third heaven and spiritual, like actually, technically, the word is spiritual. It's up here, my friends, with Yahweh, Yeshua, the living word, and Ruach HaKodesh. At what level are you manifesting? Now let's take a look at the 7 levels of manifestation. Look, everyone and their dog wants to manifest something, have their desires come into reality, but one must first understand the 7 levels, okay? The lowest level, intentions don't even manifest because they're based on lack or poor integrity. Low level, intentions manifest, but it takes really long time and with hard work. Similar thing. People in the higher levels are trying to disrupt the lower levels. Mid-level intentions manifest over time, and consistent action and discipline are required. Okay, most of self-development is here. And again, we're not saying that any of this stuff doesn't have specific principles. That's why they work at that level. That's why the question is, at what level are you manifesting? Okay, what about mid-high level, where intentions manifest over time and repetition of intention plus smart work is required? Oof. Then high level, intentions manifest over short time and only slight intention and full detachment is required. But in reality, the super level, the God level, one has no intention. One is one with Christ, crucified with Christ, submitted to his will. Galatians 2:20, everything comes to you in abundance without you lifting a single finger. Christ does it for you. He fights for you. Yeah. Do you know the holy name of God, my friends? You see, the core illusion is that both levels share the same hidden assumption. Something created can restore me to wholeness. Galatians 2:16 says, knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but by the faith of Jesus Christ. Even we have believed in Jesus Christ that we might be justified by the faith of Christ, and not by the works of the law. For by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified. Okay, so whether it's a molecule and chemistry and alchemy, whether it's a herb, whether it's a technique, whether it's a frequency, a ritual, a system, a meditation, a psychological process, the question is the same. Is healing mechanic, 3D? Or is it 4D, astral? Or is it relational to Jesus, true 5D? Again, the 4D illusion here is more subtle. It's believing expanded experience equals truth. And spiritual sensation equals authority. And emotional catharsis, right, equals transformation. Or visions of crazy beings and spirit guides and aliens and, civilizations and ancestors. Like, guys, these systems operate in the psychological and astral altered consciousness domain. But altered perception, spiritual experience is not the ultimate source. These systems operate in the psychological and altered consciousness domain. Now, this is coming from someone who has mastered the astral systems, okay? And can even levitate, do telekinesis, and even teleport an object. I became master of the magicians like Prophet Daniel, who studied the Lashon and Sephir of the Chaldeans, but without defiling himself with the king's meat or wine. That's why I can tell you why Daniel was 10 times better than all of the magicians, astrologers, witches, warlocks, spellcasters, mediums, psychics, and wise men of Babylon. And in all matters of wisdom and understanding that the king inquired of them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm. Daniel 1:20. By the way, if you want to be initiated, I have 2 spots for 500,000 for the year for 2 men, and 2 spots for 2 women for 1 million, trained by both my wife and I. Full submission. I'll show you everything. 12 rites of passage plus 1. But if you're not ready for that step, you can start with the micro initiation. Just comment 13 if you want the 1,111 euro book. In here, you will understand more about our true architecture, so you know really how to take up your power and authority and start walking in your true destiny and know who you are. Now, some people might not even be ready for that step, and they just want to start with their physical body because they want to heal. Okay, I wrote a book called Biokinesis, and you can get that for $9.99. Okay, comment initiation if you're ready to receive everything. Comment 13 if you want to get the micro initiation with the 1111 euro book. And comment biokinesis if you want the book biokinesis and access to the VIP supernatural community where I'll be teaching you everything about the spiritual technology. And I have some amazing resources and a community with over 120 members. So let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the other side.